Thank you all for allowing me to come and speak to you today. As Major said, well, actually, I thought Major was going to be doing the introduction, as Danny and Courtney said. I was a cadet while I was at Shepard, so I've been in your shoes, and I know they're all here to have fun and not to hear me speak, so I promise I'll be brief. As they mentioned, I was a member of the JROTC Academic Team while I was a junior at Shepard. It was the first year our Corps had ever competed in the Academic Bowl, and we were thrilled when we won a trip to DC to compete with the other finalists. We were knocked out in the quarterfinals, but it was a lot of fun. The next year, when I was a senior, I was invited back to help run the competition as a volunteer, and I've been returning every year since. This past year, I was thrilled to hear that Shepard had yet again won a trip to DC. Last year's team did even better than my team did, of course, and congrats to them again, although I'm sure they've heard that a million times before now. While I was there, Major and I caught up, and not long after that, he invited me to speak to you all tonight. I accepted in large part because JROTC was one of the most fulfilling groups I was ever a part of in high school, as I'm sure it will be for many of you. And I wanted to encourage you all to make the most of it while you can. The values I learned as an Air Force cadet: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do, have stuck with me and shaped me since my first day in a JROTC classroom. The Marine Corps and Navy values, honor, courage, and commitment, match up nicely with them. In addition, JROTC had instilled in me the need to respect and honor veterans in whatever way possible. So first, integrity. It's not just first in the list, it's actually specified to be first. That's because integrity is the most important thing you can have. Integrity and honor, they're your character. It's how people know they can trust you and they can count on you. Friends, family, employers, teachers, they count on your integrity when you say you'll show up on time, that you won't steal, you'll get assignments done, you'll be there for them when they need you. If they can't trust you, there's no reason for them to rely on you. It all relies on your reputation. At my job, for example, I found $20 on the ground and eventually returned it to another employee who had lost it, even though they had no idea that I had even found it. My boss later made it clear that it was one of the reasons they would plan on promoting me, because they knew that they could trust me as a result of the incident. The next values: service before self and courage. They're not the same thing, but they connect. Courage is strength in the face of pain or grief, the ability to do something that frightens you. You need courage to put others first, to do what you need to do to fulfill your commitments to your country, to your family, and to your job. You need courage to trust that what you're doing is for a better cause, and that you can achieve something greater as a team than you could by yourself. While it might not be the most serious of examples, I am a Cubs fan. Do we have any other Cubs fans out here? I was expecting a little bit of this, but that's okay. I was a Cubs fan in 2005, and I'm a Cubs fan now. And someone got it. Okay. So Cubs fans might be able to guess kind of where this is going, but Joe Maddon's philosophy is to put the team first. From the moment he started coaching the team, he made every decision with the intention to bring a World Series back to Chicago. He instilled in the players the idea that they were playing for their team, not for themselves. And every move that was made was done to win games. The players trusted Madden, and they adopted that philosophy as well. When they were slumping in the playoffs, you would see Rizzo, Baez, and Hayward getting frustrated, worrying about their own stats. But when the Cubs would get to a must-win game, they would forget about their individual slumps and focus on the win, on working as a team. And like magic, the hits would come. By putting their service to their team and their city before their personal stats, they were able to do what many thought was actually impossible: end a 108-year drought and bring a Chicago Cubs championship back to Chicago. You guys can cheer again. There we go. I really love it. It makes me good. Finally, excellence in all we do and commitment. Making a conscious decision to give all you've got every day, every time. Sometimes you've got different amounts of energy, time, and passion to give. and that's okay. But you want to be able to walk away from every challenge you face saying that I couldn't have tried any harder. Sometimes you'll succeed, and sometimes you won't. But if you try your hardest every time, you'll never regret the decisions you've made. Currently, I'm a server at TGI Fridays, so I can pay off my student loans while I apply to law school. Many of my coworkers are working their way through school. Many are supporting their families. While I'm at work, I try to give each table the best experience possible, regardless of whether the restaurant is busy or empty, or whether the table has 2 people or 10, or whether people think my job is important or not. As a result, I consistently make better tips than some of my coworkers who sit on their phones in the kitchen or who approach certain tables already expecting to get a bad tip. Putting forth excellence in all you do and committing to do a good job every time will help you succeed wherever you go in life. Last but not least, JROTC has always reminded me of the importance of honoring our veterans. From the time I was a cadet, Shepard's unit has greeted veterans returning from Honor Flight Chicago, where World War II and Korean War vets are taken to view the monuments in DC at no charge to them. It's a truly humbling and amazing organization to play any sort of a part in, and I would urge you to get involved in any way you can. I would also encourage you to talk to those veterans in your life, from teachers to neighbors to family members. While not every veteran will want to talk about their time in the service, many will have amazing stories they would like to share. I interviewed a friend's grandparent about his life for a school report, and he shared with me about his time playing on the Air Force traveling basketball team during the Vietnam War. After talking for hours, he told me that he'd told me stories he hadn't told his own grandchildren. When I asked him why he told me that, he said they had never asked. I realized I had never had such a conversation with my own grandfather, a World War II vet who had died a few years before that. So for those of you with grandparents who have served, and even those of you with grandparents who haven't, listen to those stories they want to share with you while you can. You'll learn more about the people that you love than you could ever imagine. Before I let you return to your ball, I want to thank you all again for inviting me here to share with you what I gained from JROTC. It's a great honor, and I hope that many of you will be invited to do the same someday. Enjoy yourselves tonight. Go ASTROS!